Okay, so now that you've learned a little bit about what the word vignette means, what in the world does it mean in terms of House on Mango Street? So again, listen to my little lecture. You don't need to write anything down, but there'll be a quiz that will test you on what you heard, okay? So here we go. What I want you to know, first of all, is that the technical term for the style that she's writing in, besides vignette style, she's writing in something that we call poetic prose. It's still prose because it's all written out like normal text. It doesn't look like a poem, does it? So we call that poetic prose. Now, when she actually wrote the book, she called her work lazy poems. And I like that. It was like she wanted to write, storytelling in prose, but she wanted to put some poetic elements in it. So she dropped in things like sound. Kathy, Queen of Cats, she dropped in a lot of metaphors, a lot of similes and personification. So there's quite a lot of poetic prose mixed in. Be aware of that because it's going to break some of the rules of standard English and kind of weird you out a little bit. She's not going to put any quotation marks for her dialogue. Okay? Again, she's being really flexible and poetic with her language. Now, the fact that you have vignette style, little lazy poems as she calls it, please remember that those little things, those little vignettes, are going to focus on just one thing. So you'll be able to identify one main point or one main topic. We've already seen she wrote a whole one about her name. She wrote one about the people in her neighborhood, like Kathy, Queen of Cats. So you're going to get maybe one character, one event, one theme, okay? And she'll have a vignette maybe about a character, then about an event, then about a theme. And remember that you're not to expect any sort of connection other than they're about her life, okay? You may meet a character in one vignette and then never see that character again, ever. That's the way she wanted it. So she's creating an atmosphere and little pieces of her life instead of a storyline, okay? So remember that vignette style does indeed have a primary focus, and if it's, you just learned about how if it's a picture, it's going to fade out around the edges. Same kind of thing with these vignettes. It focuses on one thing, and then just goes away and leaves you learning about it. One thing I really like about vignette style, I think it works really well for this particular book. And I think one of the reasons it works well is because it helps mimic the child narrator. Okay? Children don't have very long attention spans, do they? And they're very present tense and concrete. Things just happen to them. It's not till we get to be about 10 or 11 that we start to think critically about how my life is going and to evaluate it. So when you have a young child, I think our narrator's about 8, she is going to just live. And then she's going to show us her life. So I'd say it mimics a child narrator with a very present tense, no author comments coming in to tell you what to think about it. And this idea that, short attention span, it's up to us readers to kind of connect the pieces together because she metacognitively can't do that yet. And then finally, I love the way that vignette style mimics life in a barrio, a Hispanic neighborhood. I think it does that because life in a barrio is going to be not private. Everybody knows everybody. There's a good sense of community. There's just places in the world and different communities where people know each other and people help each other. A poor Southside Chicago community like this, they need each other. And so you know each other, your neighbors, and yet there's kind of a lack of privacy, okay, that you're going to find. It's a little bit voyeuristic almost, as she just shows you people's lives. And finally, the thing I like most about how vignette style works, without an ending to this plot, is that the issues that she's going to bring up, there's going to be a lot of issues. Young child issues, but then also some women's issues, women trapped in poverty, these issues, just like life, are going to be unresolved. She's going to show them to you, but not give any solutions. Just let you live it, let you see her world piece by piece, but leave unanswered questions, okay? She will grow and learn things. So this book does have a nice thematic arc to it. And yet those issues, just like life, they're left there for us to think about and to deal with once we've read the book. Okay, that's the end.